Bum, bum, bum. All right, what's going on, everyone? Check my sound. Make sure the sound is sounding good. Hope everyone is having a good day. Just give me a second before we start our comic book haul for today and some of my recent pickups, my quarantine pickups, so to speak, that I ordered. So let me just check out that. Okay, cool. All right, so it sounds pretty good. I'm just gonna set up some other variables, make sure that they're good to go, and we are going to begin. All right. Just want to make sure that the video is not on private because I've done that before. Okay, cool. So you said smells like font. I like the indirect versions of correcting things. Is this better? Is this better sans skeleton? All right, team. So this is a comic book haul and talk, and movie speculation and some tea. I appreciate you. All right, so we're gonna start off with the haul, and then we're gonna, just do some comic book talking speculation for a little bit until we end the stream. And so I'm gonna start off with a couple books that I got on my pickups. They're mostly all CGC except for one book. So the first one on the list is, sorry for the glare, is this One Punch Man. Now this is originally an anime slash manga character, but the reason why this book is significant is that this is the first time Saitama, which is the main character, is appearing in a, a comic book of this dimension, right? What I mean is it's not a manga, it's a comic book per se, right? And the reason why this book is kind of booming a little bit, it was presented at Free Comic Book Day, but then we had the quarantine and a lot of things happened. So it's kind of, we're not too sure how many places have it. And the other big part of it is that there's supposed to be a One Punch Man movie coming out. And I'm not too hyped for that because I don't think it's going to do that well. But that's just an opinion. I want my opinion to be wrong, obviously. But that's why this book is, it's more for movie spec, right? So I did get this book for movie spec, and then I'll probably transplant it into another bags and board. And if I feel like it's necessary, then I'll send it out to CGC to get it slabbed. And slab meaning it's encased and graded based on the dimensions, based on the cover, and such forth. All right, so you got a Bed Wars vid in recommendations for my. Uh, and Michael, no problem that you missed the first stream. It's okay. It's totally okay. I am gonna be streaming a little bit later, but let's get into the next. So next, I got Ice Cream Man number one. I got it graded at a 9.8. And this is the first appearance of Ice Cream Man. So if you're wondering, like, what is Ice Cream Man? At first, I laugh because I'm like, what kind of book is this? So it's actually kind of a psychological thriller book, horror-esque book. So that, there's various adventures that go on with a couple of characters. Yeah, yeah, Hugh, I definitely got it. I had to get it because I actually really enjoy this book, and yeah, it's good. The psychological trip that goes on with a lot of the characters throughout the series is really good. Because part one has really nothing to do with Ice Cream Man except for his inclusion. So I had to get it graded at a 9.8, and I'm very happy for the first inclusion of Ice Cream Man. I think they could turn this into an HBO show, honestly. Um, the next CGC pickup book that I got, those of you know that I love House of X and Powers of 10. So this is House of X number one, and I'll speak a little bit about it in a little bit. It's by Jonathan Hickman, and also we have this beautiful cover for Powers of 10 number 1. So, showcasing these off. I know they're sexy. They are very sexy, actually. All right, hold on. Guys, we need a sip of tea. I appreciate you. ASMR. Just speaking a little bit about powers, and powers of 10 and House of X. This is this is a amazing book by Jonathan Hickman, and this came out last summer. This was a big event because this was kind of the reintroduction to the X-Men mythos and everything about them, right? Uh, and everyone was hyped, but I didn't think I was going to get as hyped as when I read the book because Jonathan Hick. What's going on, T. Johnson? Jonathan Hickman is the type of person who will kind of just really put you on a mental trip, right, about characters. And he's brought back a character and given them powers, right? Someone who's been in the X-Men comic books for a very long time, and her name is Moira McTaggart. And Moira McTaggart, we know her if you grew up on watching like X-Men on Fox Kids in 1995. We knew her as a mutant geneticist, and if you read the comic books, we knew that she was a mutant geneticist too, right? She studied powers. She studied the biology of mutants, right? And this whole entire time, she had powers, and it's done in a way that some people didn't really agree with it, that like, oh, she had powers this whole time, that kind of retcons. It didn't retcon anything because her power set was reincarnation, but she has a caveat to her reincarnation. So upon turning a teenager, right, like most mutants, they get their powers, right? She ended up dying within her earlier teenage years, and then she reset everything. So this is the part that gets very trippy and makes her a little bit too godlike, in my opinion. Uh, when she dies and reincarnates, she reincarnates into her baby self, right? When I mean she kind of resets time and everything resets with her, but she remembers everything from her past life. I'm going to explain that one more time. So, if she dies of like natural causes and things of that nature, when she dies, she resets to when she was basically born, right? Or and what's going on, Steven? And she basically resets everything that was with her during the whole time. Um, no, we're talking about X-Men, X-Men stuff. So her powers are, Moira McTaggart's powers are pretty intense, pretty powerful, and it's something that's I would say has made a lot of people really think about what's happening in the current X-Men comic books, knowing that Moira McTaggart now has powers, and her powers are pretty influential into the whole entire Marvel universe, if that makes sense. So let's get into the other two CGC books that I did pick up, or not the other two, the last one. This one is Strange Academy, graded at a 9.8 as well. Check it out. Now, Strange Academy, the reason why I got this book in particular, it's the first appearance of a lot of characters, a lot of magic-based characters. First, we have Emily Bright, Doyle Dormammu, which is the son of Dormammu, Shaylee McPeedle, Calvin Morse, Desi German, Glastog, Zoe, Alvi, Eric, and Tooth. So all of these characters. So the school is basically run by high level sorcerers, right? Such as Doctor Strange. We have Jericho Drum, which is Brother Voodoo, and we also have it's Magic from the X-Men. Magic is the sister of Colossus. So again, I got this book in terms of speculation for future Disney Plus streaming service TV shows, right? And with the Harry Potter stuff kind of like long and gone, I think people are aching for some kind of magic based type of stories. And why not pull in Marvel characters that are seemingly teens that are specialized in magical prospects and sorcery and things of that nature. So I really just got that book as a speculation, and the story is pretty cool actually. It's cool to see Dormammu's son, and also just a couple of other characters, right? So yeah, so those are the pickups. So I'm just gonna go over them one more time. We got Strange Academy #1. It's bad boy. We got House of 10 #1. Uh, and we have Powers of 10 #1. And Powers of 10 #1 is, I guess, pretty important because it includes Rasputin, Syllable, and Cardinal. So those characters, well, Rasputin in herself is the combination, right? A genetic combination of Colossus, magic, and a couple other characters in terms of powers and potential, right? And the Cardinal is kind of like, think about Nightcrawler, but he's like a red Nightcrawler, right? Kind of like his dad, right? Thank you, Joshua. Thank you. I appreciate you, my man. I know I look kind of rough, but it's part of quarantine life. So I'm gonna rock it until it gets real. I appreciate you. And then the last book that we picked up with CGC was The Ice Cream Man. Uh, that was the first appearance of Ice Cream Man, and I got it because I love this psychological thriller-based horror book that seemingly looks like a joke, but it's actually pretty in depth when you start to read the characters, right? Uh, I recently read about Juggernaut being Omega level. So Omega level mutant. What are your thoughts? Cause these Mega characters were just to add or correct, because they weren't talking about Omega characters when they were kids, right? Yeah. So just to explain, like Omega level mutants are just mutants that's potential is not definitive, right? And an example of Omega level mutant is, for example, would be Iceman or Jean Grey. They're Omega level mutants because their potential is seemingly limitless, right? And now for Juggernaut, Juggernaut is not a mutant. He gets his powers from um, the Stone of Sidorak, and Sidorak is a multi-dimensional like being that's like wildly, ridiculously powerful. And for him, I think the reason why you could kind of characterize a Juggernaut into not an Omega level mutant, but Omega level type of character is because his potential is kind of not defined. We know that he's unstoppable, but what does that really mean, right? We've seen Juggernaut kind of like be buried under like surfaces for like months and months and he's come out like alive and good to go, right? And his powers are part and parcel to what Sidorak's powers are. And what I mean by that is, how much power is Sidorak allowing Juggernaut to have at any given time, based on the gem of Sidorak. So there's been recent comic books when Juggernaut has have a ridiculous amount of power, and even siphoned off some of the powers of Juggernaut himself. So I think it's just storytelling when it comes to like when they introduce certain characters who are now stronger than which they were, or now have the ability to tap into new potential. I think it's just storytelling, and that's what I was talking about with the Moira McTaggart a while ago. That we knew her as a mutant geneticist that Professor X used to like, and that's about it. And they introduced her in the comic books to have this really massive power of reincarnation, which puts her at the centerpiece of the Marvel universe. That when she dies, everything starts over with her, right? So what's going on, Logan? So let me go back to the comments. Joshua said, so you have read more Image comic Spawn yet? I have not read any of the current runs. I have gone back and read some of the earlier runs. And they're pretty, I wanted to get to know things like the medieval Spawn and just some of the other characters in his interaction. And I wanted to know more about the character and why he utilizes guns more than he uses his powers. And it makes sense that when he uses the necroplasm, it zaps out his ability to stay in the realm, right? The realm of Earth before having to go to hell, so to speak, right? And I know that was pre Spawn versus God and the devil, basically. And but he uses guns because that's what he loves to do, and it's energy efficient, right? So yeah. Um, so yeah, what's going on, Logan? And it sends, but F Marvel. Am I right? No, no, you're not right. I disagree, but I appreciate you. No, I think I love Marvel. I love Marvel. I love DC. I love Image. I love a lot of different um, series. There's I you know someone asked me the question, which one do I like more? Do I like DC or Marvel? And I think it's just dependent on the story. One of my favorite stories recently from DC is Deceased. Thomas Wayne, what's going on, my man? Yeah, Deceased is one of my favorite stories, and yeah, I could get into it if you guys want to know, but I love the storylines of DC because they're a little bit gritty and more. I don't know how to explain it. Um, I don't know, but I love Marvel too. So when people ask me, and I know people are expecting like you have to pick one. No, I don't. I don't have to pick any of them. I like certain stories, and that's what I'm in there for. Now, when I was growing up, I collected a lot of cards, like DC cards and Marvel cards. I did love the Marvel cards more than the DC cards, but I still bought both, right? Yeah. Steven said DC got better storylines. Hugh said Marvel. Uh, Marvel got better characters, Steven said. And Joshua said also the presence is omnipotent because Eclipso has killed him before. Okay. Steve said, but I'm Batman. And then Thomas said, I agree. And Joshua said, Steve, no, just no. So, it all depends on the story. So, and the characters. For me, it's, right now I'm loving, the Deceased Unkillables, which is kind of a midway, not a sequel to that storyline, but it's right before the next storyline. He could be. You never know. I know, right? Thomas, we don't know. I mean, no one knew who Batman was in the comic books. Well, some people knew, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. What other characters are you all are you all interested in? And I'm gonna do a powers discuss video on I think random, and Hugh, you brought it up on the Instagram. So I actually did some research on the character already, so it's already like in my forehead. So yeah. Now, if anyone here is Batman, it'll be my guy Thomas. I know it's Thomas Wayne, but Thomas Wayne is you're the dad of Batman, right? Dragon Ball Heroes, Dragon Ball. We could talk about anything because it's what I mean. This is just I said comics and tea, but it could be like comics and and anime and stuff like that. I could change the title right after the video. It's okay. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, we could talk. But Dragon Ball Heroes is not really canon, but we could still talk about it. The hype on it. What's going on, Cherry? Uh, the Red Lantern dude. Oh, as soon as as soon as I read dude, I forgot the name, and I feel like it came to me. Oh man, can someone remind me? The leader of the Red Lantern Corps is. Wow, why can't I remember this? This is crazy. I hate when this happens. Barris is about to show his true power, and it's about to go down, and that's reference to Dragon Ball Heroes, Dragon Ball Super, which is the canon. We don't know. Atrocitus. Thank you so much, Joshua. I'm like, I wouldn't have remembered actually. I know the name, but I wouldn't have remembered. I think I would have been sitting here for a long time, right? Uh, Atrocitus is a really cool character, just overall. So yeah, yeah. Red Lanterns are powered by rage. That could be very annoying, though. I mean, like if you're constantly in rage, everything seems annoying, right? Oh man, that could be really annoying. Like you're drinking a cup of tea and you're getting mad. Like, why is it so good? All right, so anime talk. I mean, we could go back and forth. It doesn't have to be anything specific. If I know about the anime per se, right? Dragon Paw. I don't know about Dragon Paw. I don't know about Dragon Paw. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what that is in particular, right? So, guys, we're talking about anime. We're talking about movie speculations when it comes to superheroes. We're talking about manga and all of that. So, you guys drop a topic and or even a quick versus battle. Like, who do you think would win? You know, we could go over that. No, he was the Hulk. Just scrolling up through the comments a little bit. Uh, Dragon Paw is a good anime. Dragon Paw or Dagon Paw. What where are you watching it? Thomas, you a hater. Talking about it's stupid. It's not stupid. But I appreciate you. All right, Jack Hanma. Hanayama, Black Arrow, that's it. In reference to that, everyone, that's from the Grappler Baki universe, which is pretty amazing. Dragon Ball was great, is great, and will continue to be great. So, Thomas, I disagree. And if you disagree with me, let's battle. uh, Dragon Ball is kind of like the grandfather of a lot of manga. I would say the grandfathers of manga and anime would be Dragon Ball, Astro Boy, and Akira. Some of you will disagree with me, and then I'll say it's okay. We can agree to disagree. I only say Astro Boy. Astro Boy is one of the earliest um, kind of like anime characters, right? For me, Astro Boy is the one who actually would be the predecessor to like the to a lot to characters like Mega Man and things of that nature, right? All right, let me get back into the comic books, or the comments, bro. So I don't know if you know, bro. I know this is out of the blue, but Mortal Kombat 11 Combat Pack 2, right? No, this is not out of the it's not out of the blue because this is talk. This is if we were all chilling and we were just talking, right? So this is a chill stream, not specific video in a little bit, but yeah, we're just chilling and talking. My picks for Mortal Kombat 11 Combat Pack 2, Smoke. Um, I always love Smoke as a character, and I don't really know why. I can't really grasp the understanding why, but oh, thanks for the pronunciation, Cherry. I would say I would put Smoke in Mortal Kombat 11. If I was to have a guest character, I would want them to try Freddy Krueger one more time. I don't really like the way that he was so much of a melee character and not so much of this is out of the blue. um, Batman. I don't really feel like they did him justice in Mortal Kombat 9, and I would love to see him again with more dream type of I don't know. He could be a boss character, honestly. Like Freddy Krueger could be a boss character if they were to include him again as a special guest character. They probably wouldn't, but I'm more hyped for Injustice 3 because I was reading that storyline for Injustice, and that story is like ridiculous. Um, we have a couple of characters who become other characters, and what I mean by that is, what's her name from what's this character's name that could scream really loud in DC Comics? What's her name? Because she becomes a Green Lantern. Um, Someone could remind me in the chat. I forgot her name. I want to say Banshee, but it's not Banshee. That's from Marvel Comics. And Thomas said, "It's okay. I don't mind if we battle. You'll win because mostly because you could make me laugh, and I wouldn't be able to fight. Then because you would kick my A." Steven said, "I'm Batman." And Joshua, it would be pretty interesting if they added Pennywise. Yes, absolute a Black Canary. Thank you so much, Joshua. Uh, I'm forgetting like there's so much. I think it's because we're talking about multi topics, but I'm just making excuses. Pennywise would be a really great character. He could, yeah, because yeah, he would be a pretty cool character. What kind of movesets do you think he would have, though? I think that's a question. My tea is getting cold. Cherry said, "Imagine if they added something as a stupid character, kind of like Piranha Plant in Smash." You know, I it's funny that you say that, and the reason why so far in Mortal Kombat 11 for inclusions, they haven't had any joke characters per se. I'm trying to think. The closest joke character, which is not really a joke character, he's just kind of a playful, kind of funny character, would be Johnny Cage, but he's definitely not a joke character. Thomas Wayne said balloon scare tactics. You know, I'm imagining Pennywise in Mortal Kombat 11 as a guest character, and I could see a lot of the like the balloons coming out and like floating across the stage. It would be pretty cool. Um, what do you think about AMC banning Universal movies, New World Order on the horizon? Uh, I'm not even up to date with that. Why are they banning Universal movies? Is it just because of the quarantine, or is it because of something else? Um, yeah, like why are they banning Universal? I just don't know to not be able to give a opinion on it. Uh, Joshua said, "Yeah, Pennywise thought it would be cool to see him go up against a character like Spawn because they're both basically omnipotent beings." Yeah, you know, I don't know that much, too much about Pennywise, beyond the movies. Now, I don't know if any of you have any of you read the book and could say a little bit more on his potential as a character, for Pennywise, like where he stemmed from, what's his actual origin. Like I know in the reboot they kind of show origin, but it just feels like there's a lot more that they could only put into a movie. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Thomas Thomas said yelling, "We all float." I know. I could see people online spamming like a balloon move. We all float too. Is that what is that the saying? I don't know even know. Steven said not mainline answer trolls too made too much from streaming. Oh, I see. I see. Huh. I don't know. I think well, now that you said that, I think what they're doing now is because of the quarantine and everything that's happening around the world, we're starting to get into a path line, and we're starting to get into a future where a lot of things are seemingly unneeded now, right? And what I mean by that is that I think a lot of people and a lot of companies are starting to see that people don't actually need to leave to get the entertainment that they really want, and we're kind of leading into some of those sci-fi movies where mostly things are done from home, so to speak. So I think that could be a reasoning behind why they just want to like X out some of these companies, because they are seeing that other companies are starting to overcome them with some of this like streaming services, right? Like cable is gonna become. Sorry about that, guys. Streaming, like I just froze. Streaming services are gonna take over, and a it was really surprising to me when I saw movies like Bloodshot, which was subpar, from my point of view. Um, when I checked Amazon Prime, and those movies were on my Amazon Prime, and I was like, I don't gotta go to the movies. Let me just order it. You know what I mean? And all I did was just turn the volume up all the way to make it feel immersive. So yeah, it looked like I got mad. Oh, when the screen like froze, right? Um, But yeah, it's interesting where things are headed. If they did a crossover with Nintendo, imagine Link as a fighter. I don't think Mortal Kombat would do a crossover. It's funny how I can multitask like the conversations and go back, right? I don't think they would do a Nintendo character in it, but I think he would be a cool character to have if they gave him fatalities and blood related moves. But he's kind of a he's an icon character for Nintendo in some type of ways, right? With like Mario and other characters. So they probably wouldn't include him, but if they did, it would be like some a trip, right? Um, Steven said, "Bye bye Wonder Woman and Black Widow on the big screen." Yeah, they did push back Black Widow, I think, to some date in the fall, and I don't know. The way things are currently, I don't really see how things can go back to the norm, right? Things could go back to how it was before. I do think that the way things are right now, it's gonna lead into a new normal, not really the old normal, so to speak. Um, yeah. Oh, to put it on Universal. Yeah, I think there will be some kind of a loss in money, and I think companies are trying to overcome that. But movies like uh, I think, for example, like Black Widow, they should just what they should do is if a lot of movies are now going to come out through streaming, they should for Marvel for they should just use the as a way as a means to get people to get the Disney streaming service. They should just put all of that stuff there. Done. Right? Like, oh, we're just gonna premiere all of our movies and shows on our streaming service. So if you want it, you gotta come get it. You gotta, basically sign up for us. And because of Infinity War and all of the movies that did really well, people are gonna go for it. I would go for it. The only reason why I haven't gone for the Disney streaming service is because there's only one show that I would possibly watch, and right now all of the Marvel shows that I want to watch have not come out yet. And so once that drops, then I'm gonna get the free week or whatever like that. And if it's feeling good, then I'll continue. But I think people are not gonna stray away from doing that if they just drop all the movies on the streaming services and like ultra. Because there's a couple things that could happen, right? For those movies that are like truly like high quality, there could be a second wave of things to come, right? Where they start forcing people to get new TVs like ultra HD, whatever K TVs and things of that nature to kind of make it into that cinematic feel, so that people won't have to go to the movie theaters anymore. Uh, Movie theaters could be a thing of the past potentially. Say that again. Oh, so we were talking about Stephen was mentioning the aspect of Universal Studios not really being in movies anymore because they're kind of pushing away from it. And I was saying, and we were saying about certain movies like Marvel movies and also DC movies that are now most likely going to be part of the streaming services. They may not come out if things don't get better, right? If there isn't a vaccine for COVID-19 and things don't go back to the old, and my theory is that there won't, even if things do get better, a lot of companies are starting to understand that they could still make money and do really well without having to go through a whole entire movie service or having when people could do a lot of things from home. Netflix has kind of like pushed the venue really far. Like it knocked out Blockbuster, right? Which was the old of us, going to a store and then renting a movie and then bringing it back. We don't have to do things like that anymore, right? And I think companies are starting to realize, like, do we really have to go to a movie theater? Or can we just make a immersive experience for someone at home if there's an ultra HD 4K TV in the household that has like really adequate speakers that replicate a movie theater. So I don't know. Yeah, And to those Marvel movies and DC movies, they could just put them on their streaming services, and that will get people to want to buy their services. And I'm speaking as one of those people. Like, I would get the Marvel if all of the movies are coming on the Disney streaming service. I'm gonna get the Disney streaming service. Sorry, I'm into comic books, and if all of those, and if DC starts making some really good movies in the future, I'm gonna get the the DC thingamajiggy, whatever it's called, right? I think there's only one show that they really had that I thought that would be really good, and that was Swamp Thing, and it did really well. But I think they over budgeted and then had to pull away from the show, which only had one season. Yeah, movie exactly, exactly. Let me go back up. Damn, yeah, Blockbuster was the truth. Good times. Oh man, Tom said, "Oh, that would be cool if they did it anyway, but not charge over $10 a month." Yep, exactly, exactly. Um, the only thing they would have to like truly try to do is maybe limit the households that can use it, because if people start sharing their passwords, then those companies are going to lose money. Thinking about it from a business aspect. Blockbuster, yep. Steven said it makes sense that I would watch some more movies if I could click on the button and watch the movie I want to watch without going anywhere. Yeah, I might be inclined to, if I don't have to wait online anymore, I might be inclined to watch a couple movies. I'm be like, $20. There are three movies I actually want to watch. I don't have to, you know, I'm not gonna go back to back. I could chill at home, do my thing, eat food, order out, and then click on some movies. What? I'm not gonna. I'm not leaving. For what? Especially if I have a 4K TV that like covers like half of my wall. Forget about it. For what? Um, yeah, I couldn't even say Teen Teen Titans is R rated. I haven't watched it. Someone said that it got better at the second season, but I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where since I don't have that streaming service, I'm not gonna watch it. If I did, I would probably try a couple episodes. Yeah. So going back, is the Disney app getting comic books or more movies? So they're getting no. So we already know we're getting those comic book TV shows, right? For movies, we were just speculating that it makes plausible sense that if, and I'm going back to Bloodshot now, when the whole entire quarantine started, Bloodshot was supposed to come out. It wasn't that much of a good movie. I could talk about the movie. I enjoyed it as a watch, but if I went to the movie theaters to see it, I would be like, But anyway, I'm ranting. The reason why I mentioned it is because they were able to just upload it to a stream. They were able to stream it, on various quality levels, and I was like, what? Like how so if they were able to do it for Bloodshot and some other movies, like I think Invisible Man was there, a couple other movies, then they could do it potentially for any movies moving forward, right? I think that's just the reality of it. So that's why we mentioned Steven asked the question, and we kind of went into the rabbit hole of discussing that aspect. TJ Johnson, I said TJ, sorry. T Johnson said, right. And Thomas Wayne said, I want a TV like that. I do want a TV like that. If I could get a 4K TV that I could wall mount and is like, really big, then I'm not gonna want to go to the movie theaters anymore. Sorry, I'm just gonna turn up the volume, and that's it. Especially if I have on some headphones that could like really make it an immersive experience on a not a I guess on a 4D level, right? Where kind of think about it like ASMR, but you could hear all dimensional sounds from front, back, all around, right? That's just the idea. So if it comes out, everyone, you heard it from me first. Uh, I wouldn't go to the theater for any movie now that I'm over 21. I hear you. Oh, you said I like that movie. Are you talking about you're talking about Bloodshot, right? Bloodshot was a good watch. It was a good watch. It wasn't a great movie though. I think it could have. I think it was a bit rushed. I want a TV like that too, but once we buy it, a new one will come out. Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah, it's gonna be like these phones, right? They're gonna be like upgrade to the next point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4, all the way until and but I think they're gonna start doing the forced buys. Forced buys are kind of like how we have phones. We can't have flip phones anymore, right? Because it's kind of like technically you need a smartphone for pretty much everything. Just like how they did a forced buy for when we used to have like the box TVs when we were younger. Those of you who are older on the cusp of like my age range and like in the 10 years, you'll remember the box TVs, right? Those of you who are born in the 2000s, you don't know what I'm talking about. Or you probably seen like old stuff videos. You said I could make a better movie from Bloodshot. I just think for Bloodshot, there were a lot of cool aspects of it, but in terms of storytelling, I think it was a bit rushed, and I think that's all it was for me. I think it was a bit rushed. There were some characters that I wish they spent a little bit more time on, and but at the end of the day, I do have the conscious understanding to know that it was an origin story, right, of sorts, and if they were to make a part two, which I don't think they're going to make a part two because it didn't do that well, that they could flesh out the story a whole lot more, right? Yeah. So that's it for Bloodshot, and Bloodshot reminded. I don't know why it reminded me of the first time I watched Spawn a little bit, but I really enjoyed that first Spawn movie. Uh, some people are like it wasn't that good. I disagree with you. And when I disagree, usually I put on this I'll look at them like this. You know what I mean? I enjoyed Spawn. Uh, yeah, it could have come up with a better script. Yeah, that's all it was for me. I think it was just I would have liked to see a little bit more of a psychological trip from the main character and just like the trauma that he's going through. That realizing that everything is fake. That's all. Um, Cherry said, by the way, if I could draw some of your thumbnails, it would, if you want. Yeah, no, no, Cherry, definitely go ahead. If Cherry does phenomenal art, so please go ahead and you already know most of the videos on my channel are going to be comic book videos and talks like this, like Zen Talks videos, right? I'm going to rename the video to Zen Talks because we went off. Wrong character. They weren't driving cars. Oh, for Bloodshot. Yeah, I think uh, they could have picked a lot of characters. They could have picked there could have been a couple of other great prospects of the character for him for Vin Diesel instead of Vin Diesel. But I think again, I'm going back to the writing. The writing was what kind of it seemed rushed. There were some really good points, and then there were some really rushed points, and I was like, whatever. That's how it was for me. It was like, whatever. It was the action scenes were subpar to me, and I'm gonna be super honest with you all. The reason why that when I think about gun movies now, I think about John Wick. And if the gun fu, right, or the gun martial arts are not up to par like John Wick, then I'm like, this is kind of a baby movie, right? Because John Wick's, you know, that type of choreography with like gun warfare and gun martial arts is like second to none. I think another movie that did it well was that new movie with Chris Helmsworth on Netflix that just came out. I think that movie was like number two in the United States or whatever like that. But it was a really good movie. I enjoyed that movie. So yeah, John Wick is a good movie, and they've definitely leveled up from John Wick 1 to John Wick 3 all the way. So yeah, I think it's really good. Guys, how's the stream looking? Is Equilibrium did it the best? Yeah, no, that man, it was phenomenal. I had to watch it again the other day, and I went on YouTube just to see the training that Keanu Reeves, and pretty much everyone did, right? Um, and they went through some stuff, right? And Keanu Reeves is a like right now he's a really proficient gun shooter. Like he could like he's good, right? And I like the points of his training when he was like really frustrated. Baki, what's going on? Everyone, shout out to my son Baki. Subscribe to his channel. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that stuff. Yeah, I think John Wick is a really good movie overall. Love that movie, and I can't wait for them to make another John Wick movie because that was one of the ones that it was like, wait, okay, if they make a part two, it's not going to be that much better, right? But it was. Part three, better. Um, the last one had the best choreography, but some of the characters that he went against, I didn't really like them too much. But whatever, it was a great movie, a great action movie. I'm making sure that I clarify you. Baki, you you see Uncle Steven? Uncle Steven's post. He said he misses you and he hopes you're training during this time. Because when we all okay, that's my boy. That's my boy. I appreciate you. Time to drink some more tea. This tea is cold though. Yeah. So, oh man, we talked about a lot of stuff. Any other topics? I definitely gotta reach. I gotta change this to. I think the action was too comic book like. Huh. For John Wick. Hmm. I'm thinking it through. That's why I'm thinking it through a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. I. Oh, do you mean? Are you saying like? Do you felt like the choreography for him utilizing the guns and vice versa were a little bit too overboard or not as realistic, and it kind of led into like the comic kind of aspect. Is that what you mean? I just want to make sure that I'm understanding. Um, because I could see that. Okay, got you, got you. It's too unrealistic. Okay, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. But I love that movie. Well, I love the John Wick universe, right? I also love the John Wick type of the theories slash. I kind of hate the theories too, because when they talk about the Matrix, everyone talks about the Matrix and the new Matrix that's coming out, and everyone says that at the end of Matrix Revolution, when we see Neo that dies, he actually is going through a program, and the program is called the John Wick program, where he's like training, basically training um, to be better, and they're counting like the John Wick universe as a whole entire program within the Matrix that Neo is going through. Right? It's it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. But you know that would never happen. Movies don't have links like that. Like I wish they did, but they don't. Milario, what's going on? Um, but yeah. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. We talked about a lot today, so I'm gonna hop off of here in a little bit, because we got a Mario stream coming up. It's part of the day schedule, and we're gonna talk some more on that. But if there's any other topics you guys wanted to bring out before I hop off, please drop it. Any kind of versus battles. Who do you think would win? Um, Zen, do you think the Matrix 4 will be added? Yeah, they already. Matrix 4 has already been set to come out, right? I just don't know. Hmm. I'm a little bit perplexed about where the Matrix 4 will go, right? In terms of presentation and also storytelling. Because certain characters are supposed to come back. For example, Neo is supposed to come back. Trinity is supposed to be in the movie too. And those characters have been put in a place where they're gone, but how are they going to be included again? I think my automatic assumption for how those characters are going to come back is through inside of the matrix. They could be replicated as programs, right? Their consciousness can be um, the matrix could have backed up their memories, right, and things like that. So they could be presented and be seen as mentors to the new, I don't know, to the new wave of heroes, so to speak, right? Whoever's the true main character, it probably won't be Neo. He's probably passing on the torch to someone else, and then he'll be represented in the Matrix, kind of like how the Oracle is one of those characters and things of that nature. Nature that Neo is probably like Neo and Trinity are probably part and partial to the Matrix itself. And all I see that's actually trying to happening is if the machines have already made peace, or not really peace, with all the people in, I forgot the name of the place where all the humans are actually, right? I forgot the name of that. But if they've already made peace with them, then the only thing that could possibly happen again is another virus in the Matrix, just like Smith. Hopefully not. I hope it's something where they kind of like get into the backstory and how the humans are the ones who messed up everything and led into the Matrix. I could talk about that because if you watch the Animatrix, it explains how the humans messed up everything. How the humans made artificial intelligence, which we're kind of leading towards, and the artificial intelligence gained sentience, and they kind of went through a civil war because the robots wanted rights, and the humans were like, no. And because of that, they ended up killing robots that had sentience, which is kind of on the robot scale is like killing anything, right? It's like killing a person, right? And it did lead into that civil war, which then caused the robots to then say, we're going to siphon off energy from humans, from we're going to continue to siphon off energy from the sun. So then the robots, or the machines, said, we're going to continue to do that. But then what happened was the humans said, no, we want to decimate all of these machines that made their own empire. So they blocked out the sun through like this telekinetic type of smog, right? What's going on, Big Cat Lion? Big Lion Cat. I said the name in reverse. My bad. So yeah, so the Matrix is pretty deep. They need to go back into the backstory that was only presented in the Animatrix, which is good. As you could tell, like I'm pretty versed in the Matrix, right? Um, in the storytelling of it, so I feel pretty good. I just wanted to do that. Let me go back into the comments. I believe a man can be bad A, but never get tired or breath hard from fighting 10 guys. I hear you. So Thomas is going back to we're going back to that talk about the John Wick. I was saying that I really love John Wick, but Thomas just made just brought up a really good point that it seemed a little bit too unrealistic, and that's where he brought up the aspect of going against 10 guys and not getting tired, right? Yeah, he would have to be at the upper echelon of potential. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's been a long time. We were just doing a whole bunch of comic book talk, a whole bunch of movie speculation talk, future talk, anime talk, everything talk. So it's pretty cool. Cherry said you should get Animal Crossing. I don't know if that's my thing. I'll watch a couple of YouTubers play it, but it still doesn't like grab my fancy. But I appreciate you. uh, but yeah, it's yeah, I don't think that's my type of thing. Yeah, nah. Animal Crossing, nah. I don't even know. I still don't know even know what you do in that game. Are you just taking care of the animals? Is that what you're doing? Sorry. What is that? Are you chill with cat? Chill with cat. What is that? Are you entering a program into the Matrix right now, Cherry? Is something about to happen? Virus. And guys, before we jump off the stream in a little bit, don't forget to drop a like, right? Uh, Likes do help for my channel because it does send a wave of recommendations to other people who might be like-minded. And since I talked about a lot of different stuff, I got my animal is called Lenny. Oh, it's a YouTube emoji. Wait, I can't see the emoji. Oh, I see it on the chat. It comes up as chill something, and then I see it on boom. That's so wild. Okay, all right. Any other topics? Any other topics before we hop off? We talked about a lot of stuff. Jeez, and I had a good time talking about it. Any other topics we want to? Okay, I see. Okay, I see. I could see that. I could see the dogwood. I could. Before we hop off, any other topics you guys wanted to talk about? We talked going backwards. We talked about the Matrix. Well, we talked about Animal Crossing. We talked about the Matrix. We talked about John Wick. Um, and the Matrix story. We talked about Universal Studios and streaming services. We talked about comic books. We talked about anime. What do you guys think about One Punch Man and the possible movie? Uh, the possible Big Lion Cat. I'm in New York. I'm in New York. Yeah, I'm in New York. Where's everyone from? Well, I'm not from New York. I wasn't born in New York, but yeah, I reside in New York. I know some of you are from different parts of the world. Drop it in the chat. Where's everyone from? I'm always amazed that technology could bring us all together. Cherry's from UK, England. Big Lion Cat said I was born in New York City. Oh, Steve, they you know it's supposed to be a live action movie, and that's why I think it's gonna be whack. Sorry, Steve, born and raised in the Bronx. Okay. Yeah, One Punch Man, they're trying to do a live action, and I think it's gonna be horrendous. This is the only reason why I got this book as a speculation. Oh, you live in PA, but so you still have to try. I remember in your live stream, Big Lion Cat, you were or when you were on Rob's stream, you were saying that you had to travel back and forth. Oh man, that's crazy. Mm. Wang a Koopa Dudley do crumpets. What? I don't know what you guys talk about. um, you just saying random stuff. um, but yeah, all right, team. So I'm about to hop off of this. Also, no one in the UK sounds like the stereotype. What's what's the stereotype? What's the stereotype? I'm not even familiar with the stereotype for people in the UK. What is it that people in the UK only sound a specific way? Oh, so what you said was that you was from UK talk, but what does it mean? I'm sorry, being really posh. Oh, I see. I see. I think being kind of posh is kind of cool. Is being posh? Correct me if I'm wrong, Cherry. Is being posh kind of like being astute and kind of self-centered? Am I? Because I know in Jamaica we'll say posh, but I just want to, because I'm Jamaican. I was born in Jamaica. Uh, I just want to make sure that I'm identifying terminology correctly. Um, Baki's back. My son is back in the chat. Oh yeah. Uh, Big Lion Cat said I'm at home. Stush. Oh, it's yeah. We say stush. We don't say a posh. Um, it too stush. Oh, people in the UK are more like, "Yo, fam, what's up, mate? What's up, mate, fam?" All right, I like that. I like that. Big Lion Cat said, "Doing an auction tonight, looking for a book tonight? Oh, so you're doing an auction tonight, Big Lion Cat. So guys, if you're into comic books and you want to get some really cool books, check out Big Lion Cat's channel. Um, yeah, Big Lion Cat. If you come across the Legend of Blue Marvel, let me know. It's kind of one of my Grail books that I want to get. Yeah, Comics for Thomas. What's going on? I know I want that book so bad. And Burke Family 54 Comics. What's going on? The comic crew is coming out. The comic crew. Guys, don't forget to drop a like, comment, and just be awesome. Just be good. uh, so let me just kind of do a review of the comic books that I did go over in the beginning, which was the beginning of the stream before we went into Burke Family. So let's see. I got you. Before we went into the dimensions of talks that we talked about. Oh, sounds good. So first one, boom, One Punch Man. I only got this book as a speculation. Well, it's not a speculation anymore because we know a One Punch Man movie is coming out. But I got it just to get it. This is the first time he appears in a comic book, not at his first appearance in a manga, because he appeared in the web comic book, and then he appeared in the manga. But this is the first time it's in this dimension. Yeah. So this book is kind of rare right now, because this is his first appearance in the actual comic book, of this rectangular dimensional scale, right? So if it's what I'm gonna do is I got it from a seller. It is in the format of a manga, which is right to left. So I'm gonna transplant this into another bags and board at a later time, and then if I feel the need, I'll send it off to CGC. Maybe not. Next book that I got for my CGCs was Ice Cream Man #1. First appearance of Ice Cream Man. I got this book, and I told people this. I love Ice Cream Man because it's a psychological thriller. The first time I looked at it, I was like, "What kind of joke book is this?" This is not a joke book. This is actually it goes in scale. It's like a psychological horror esque type of thing. It's thank you. So yeah, it's pretty good. White pages, got it. I didn't get it to sell it. I got Ice Cream Man for me to collect. There are certain books that I get for me to resell, and certain books that I just get for me. Next book that I got was Powers of 10 #1. This again is for me. Whew, this beauty. This first appearance of Rasputin, Cardinal, and Salobel. I think I pronounced that name wrong, but I love the Powers of 10 series, and also, uh, that would have been a cool transition if I had done it correctly. The House of 10. So these bad boys come together to form Voltron. I both got them at a 9.8 because I really love these two books. And I was saying earlier in the stream, I got those two books because it's kind of the rebirth of the X-Men, right? Some people are not enjoying how it's gone because of the whole Krakoa, their own nation and everything like that. I love it. I'm sorry, I love it. I love Powers of 10 and House of X and how it's led into Dawn of X. Now, some of the books of Dawn of X I don't really love, like Excalibur. I don't really love it, but I appreciate it, and I appreciate where it's going. Jonathan Hickman blew me away with these two books and the series. There wasn't one time I did not go into the comic book store in the summer, last summer, to get these books because I was so immersed into the story and how they were going forward in time and back in time and explaining the whole Moira McTaggart thing and her mutant ability was just like, those were some good times. That was some damn good reading. Oh man, I love it. I also got Strange Academy, which is the first appearance of a couple of characters. The reason why I got Strange Academy, um, I didn't get it to keep. I got it for speculation and resell. And this is just my own theory. This is the first appearance of Emily Bright, who does have a stone in her, one of the Infinity Stones. Doyle Dormammu, which is the son of Dormammu, and a couple of other characters. The reason why I got this book, Sleepy Reader 666, what's going on? The reason why I got this book, everyone, is because I don't know if my speculation is going to be right, but you know how time usually just kind of repeats itself, right? Around this time, I'm not saying around this time, but I just remember all of the magic type shows around the Harry Potter times and things of that nature. And now that this is a Disney streaming service, I don't see why they wouldn't want to make a show about Marvel based characters within the Marvel Cinematic Universe that also have that go to a school, a strange academy, to then be able to turn it into a Disney streaming service shows for teens and kids, right? And for adults itself. I think it's pretty good. I think it's an adequate speculation on my part. So I'm going to keep the book. I also think it's cool because there's a couple characters in the book that I'm like, Dormammu has a son. Like, how does that work? And how is he able to just be around all the other kids? But then there's that kid there's a frost giant there. It's just kind of cool, and I think it's a good speculation for a future Disney streaming service show for kids. Just saying. So I got it at a 9.8 for the future, and they have Doctor Strange. Magic is in there as one of the teachers, and also Jericho Drum, which is Brother Voodoo, which is one of my favorite sorcerers. Yeah. Those were my pickups for my CGC. I have some more CGCs. I actually got a box with 100 comic books, and I am hoping that there's something really good in there that I always wanted, aka The Legend of Blue Marvel. I'm looking for that book without trying to pay $500+. You know what I mean? So you're selling you're selling the X-Men 131 8.5 CGC tonight. If you're 131, can you remind me? 131 is that a first appearance, or that is Big Lion Cat? Can you remind me the significance of 131? I'll probably remember it as soon as you drop one word, but I'm losing. I forgot. Oh, those numbers at the top indicate the level of crispiness. Oh yeah, they do. Yeah. So, I mean, the highest would be a perfect 10, but that's kind of rare. And I think folks in the chat, my comic book crew in the chat, they would be able to. A perfect 10 means that, like, it was like directly made and transported into a CGC case, right? And that would mean it would have to have perfect everything. Yeah, I mean, I don't like a 9 point. Like, all right, I'm trying to see. For this book, I could see this is a 9.8. I can't see corner ticks on this ice cream man. Like, if I was to, let me see if I could zoom in a little bit. All right, guys, you're going on an adventure. Zoom. So I don't even know if you could see the ticks. Wait, corner ticks. This one, you probably can't see it, but there's a corner tick there. But it's still a 9.8. I think, CGC does. Mark Spector Comics says flawless victory, no blemishes, no color off the spine. Got it. And those of you who don't know what the spine is where we have the staples. Because I know some of you are Mario Maker fans here, so you might not know some of the terminology. But yeah, perfect 10s are like, I seen a perfect 10. I was looking at eBay yesterday. I was in an auction, and I didn't want to. It was It was for a Punisher book. It was a Punisher when he first got the War Machine armor. That book, I forgot the number, and they had it selling for a perfect 10, and not selling for a perfect 10, but the CGC rating was a perfect 10, which I would love to have a perfect 10, but I already have that book, but I don't have it slabbed. So uh like what right when it leaves goes into the case, and yeah, I mean, like, I don't even know, like, perfect tens, I don't know, that's kind of like, sometimes when I see perfect tens it kind of gets a little bit fishy to me, like, really. It's the second appearance of Dazzler and an Emma Frost appearance. Oh, okay, second appearance. I'm still searching for a Dazzler number one. I have Dazzler number two, number three, number four, number five, number six, number seven, number eight, but I don't have a number one. I went to my my LCS was having a big sale 2 months prior to the quarantine, and they had like a whole bunch of Dazzlers. They had Dazzlers, they had Shang-Chi, but they didn't have number ones, of course, right? Because it's kind of like the first appearance of those books, right? Which is the first pity? I said a pity because I'm reading appearance and Kitty at the same time. Which is the first appearance of Kitty Pryde? That's somewhere around that time. I don't know. I don't know. What is the first appearance of Kitty Pryde? I love Kitty Pryde. I love that character. Um, and I love her in the Marauders, even though she's spoiler alert. I don't know if she died. Did she die, or did they bring her back through the Krakoan resurrections? I don't know. The reason why I love Kitty is because her potential she's not an Omega level mutant, but her potential is kind of based on her, I guess, her imagination to use tactical skills with her abilities of phasing, and also her stamina. I guess I've never seen I haven't read that many comic books where I'm not too sure. Maybe I misquoted in saying that her stamina is Kitty's powers in in tandem with her stamina. Like, can she phase for pretty much as long as she want? Does it go with her stamina, or am I wrong in saying that, or right in saying that? I don't know. Oh, Kitty's first appearance was in X-Men 129. And I like Kitty. I like the characters she's developed into, right? Well, she's no longer Kitty, right? She's Kate, because she's grown. I think she's one of the characters that I've actually seen grown up in the comic books, right? Like she's come to the place where she's like, Kitty, Shadowcat, and she's gone off into space with the Guardians of the Galaxy, came back, and she became a leader of the X-Men at one point, and then it led into this whole Krakoan arc, right, of the Dawn of X. So I think, and she's the leader of the Marauders as the Red, and she's the Red Queen, right? I think she's pretty cool. I think it's a pretty cool character. I love her powers. And kind of her relationship that she had with Colossus, and his when he came back from the dead. Everyone kind of comes back from the dead, especially now. I think it's pretty cool, Kitty Pryde. But yeah, all right, team. I Any last comments before I hop off? I am gonna hop off because I have to set up a stream. For my Super Mario Maker people are in the background just saying like, Zen, so what are you still doing? I get it. Because that stream is supposed to be premiering at 1 o'clock in 30 minutes, where I'm just gonna jam out, talk, and play some Super Mario Maker. So if you're into Super Mario Maker, join. If you're not, then cool. Yeah. Then no need to join if you're not into a specific thing, right? This channel is like during my stream yesterday, I talked about it. It's mainly going to be comic books. My next video is going to be on. If you check out my Instagram, I did a versus battle, and the versus battle was a DC and Marvel character, and I'll show you. And the battle is between Bane from DC Comics, and also um, Strong Guy from X Factor from Marvel Comics. And I know we haven't heard about haven't heard about Strong Guy in a long time for a lot of different reasons, but yeah, these two characters. So go to my Instagram and vote for who do you think would win, because I'm going to do a video verse on those two characters, right? Who do you think would win? Strong Guy versus Bane. And yeah, if you want to know my handler name on to follow me on Instagram, it is zen.world_. I'm going to type it into the chat right now before I hop off. Yeah, if you guys are interested in the auction tonight, then definitely check out Big Lion Cat and his channel. That way you could be there for the auctions and the awesomeness and see what you like, right? You never know. You might be like, what? Or you might go there and then find out like, oh wow, like I want to get a book that might get me into comic books, right? So zen.world and _. And I use my Instagram and my Instagram and also my live streams as in tandem with each other. So for example, yesterday I just did a giveaway. Two people, we had a $10 Amazon gift card given away and a $20 gift card given away. So shout out to those people who just sent me their email and followed me on Instagram, and they won when we did our Wheel of Fortune type of thing. So it was pretty cool. I'm going to always do kind of a giveaway on the first of the month. So that's why we did it yesterday. Next month we're going to do another one. It might be different prizes or it might be something else. So anyway, everyone, I'm going to hop off of here. I got to set up some things. I got to eat some food. I got to reheat this tea because it is cold. And I think Baki left. My son like gets in the stream and then he leaves to play Fortnite. He goes like, oh, I appreciate you, Sleepy Reader 666. All right, everyone. So I'm gonna do my outro. So here we go. Anyway, this is Zen from Zen World saying peace, love, and prosperity. If you're enjoying my content, drop me a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share with like-minded people. And don't, it's okay to share with other people. I'm still gonna talk to all of you guys in the chat. I'm on a roll. I'm a road to 1,000 and then beyond. And the goal is not to get rich, but to reach more people on things that we love. And yeah, overall, this Zen world is all about geek culture. And when I say geek culture, I just mean doing the things that you love to do and enjoying them without feeling any kind of anything. Just enjoying it and feeling okay about loving what you love. So go out there and love what you love, because the world is very grim, and who cares what other people think about you? What matters is what you think about yourself and how you want to spread the good vibes to other people. Oh yeah, hitting the bell. Appreciate you, Hugh. Yeah, call me, bro. I'm here while I'm about to be setting up. All right, everyone, take care. I don't know what else I'm gonna say. If you want to join me for the Mario Maker stream, 1 o'clock in about 24 minutes. Peace.